Episode 2.
Episode 119.
Close.
We are... You're in the ballpark. You're like round to the nearest 1,000.
Well,
You're in.
We've been doing this a while, obviously. But this feels like a new year, new us, Max.
Yep.
But, you know, it's an exciting time for the 78 Amped family. Already. Look at our TikTok. I'm loving our new fans at the moment.
Pumping.
They're telling me I've got a shit knowledge of a lot of music, but what a supportive group.
In some feedback, if I may.
Yep.
Do better. No, more constructively. So two of the posts that have gone off. Get it down. Two of the posts that have gone off Richter have been... one has been about heavy like metal bands and the other has been about punk bands.
Yes. Wouldn't say it's gone off the Richter.
Well, I mean, it's a high magnitude. Like, it's getting there. What I would say is... This is the most off-putting.
Sorry.
What I would say is... there's bands in that obviously I'd never heard of, and that's great. Like, you know...
Yes.
That's what we're here to do, bring bands together. But Skegs, Sam? No, I'm fucking with you. I just really wanted to bring to life the
well, there was some
frustrations from our
commentary.
audiences. Yeah.
I also have seen some commentary. Mate, you have no idea. He commented 3 times.
Oh.
Before he mysteriously disappeared.
No, you got to leave him up. And you got to tag me in.
Yeah.
Because I'll probably get on the pylon.
Tag team.
I'll be like, nah, fuck, yeah, Sam, you have no idea.
It's quite intimidating putting myself out there on behalf of the both of us.
But you got the confidence, you got the face. You got the stand up and go attitude. And I like that about a young fella like you. You'll go places, Sam.
So you just the added talent for podcasts, are you?
I'm just the old man, Sam.
Well, it's a young man's world out there, the world of social media, Max, but...
It's an old man's world, podcasting, you know? Someone has to be the 30-something who brings the white male energy to podcasting.
Someone's got to be the mid-30s man that brings the vibe down.
Someone... Look, let's bring the vibe back up. I wanted to present you with a gift.
For me?
For you, for us.
Yeah, right. I'm excited.
Well, where is it? There she is. Back there. Bit of a reach around.
You get that on the big jobs.
It displays a record each week. So I thought one of us could bring a record in.
Yes, I like that.
And display.
Well, that's what a display record is.
Yeah, and I don't know where we can put it for now.
We probably need a little bit of height.
Yeah.
Here. Maybe
for now, we might just put her up here.
Well, you should probably present it to the camera. No. What is it? It's the midnight.
I'm trying to get all that reflection all in, so it's all reflection. It is, in fact, the Midnight's Monsters, reflecting last week's interview.
Yes.
Which surprise we dropped on the audience as a bit of a surprise when they weren't expecting it. I think. We said
it's a great chat though.
We explicitly said there wasn't going to be a guest. I had to cut that and put it after the guest.
I did say.
Yeah. For
the record, I said this chat we're doing could be good on its own.
That's true.
And then I actually sold to the Midnight in our chat that's made the cut.
Made the podcast chart. Podcast chart, I think they said. Podcast cut. Which we should say, if you're watching this on YouTube, there's additional content that you're not getting.
No, you're not.
Hit the podcast link. We cut out probably a good 20 minutes.
Vinyl chat.
We had Vinyl Club chat. There was an extended interview with the Midnight, and we'll do that for every episode. There'll be a little extended bit at the end just for podcast listeners, and same with the interviews. We'll trim them down for YouTube, make them more accessible. You know, we don't want to take up too much of your time, but the podcast listeners,
we do.
They can do what they want. You know,
they can. Podcasters have. Well, we clearly have all the time in the world, but podcast listeners,
to what, man?
Anywhere, anytime, you can listen to podcasts on YouTube. Unless you've got premium, you can't really listen to it all the time.
No, exactly. Close that phone. Oh, gone. Thanks for coming.
And then your phone turns off automatically.
And then it's like, hey, if you want to listen to this while it's closed, get YouTube Premium. I'm like, not for $27 a month.
Well, it's spenny, isn't it?
It's silly.
It's silly. But episode 2 in the studio. I feel a little bit more comfortable in front of you now.
Yeah, this is. I've looked in your eye enough now that I can.
Yeah. Eventually, you just go numb to it. It's just like talking to a pair of eyebrows.
Yeah, it's true. And we both have a solid set of brows.
Jeez, we've got some caterpillars, don't we?
A couple of Johnny Howards getting around the room.
Yeah, I mean, between you and I, we could remove male pattern baldness from the entire population. But we're doing well so far. But every week, Max.
Yeah.
Bringing something new. What have you been, listening to, watching, observing? What's new?
For the listeners, bit of context, bit of background. You and I had to make a quick quick drive.
Yes.
I did forget my laptop. Hard to record a podcast without a laptop.
I literally said in here, intro, second time lucky, and I didn't say it.
That's fine. I'll drop it here. And while we were gone, I whipped on a playlist, and I said to you that in the last week, I've probably just thrown a shitload of music into my playlist without sort of stopping and seeing what's good, what's not. Well, they're all good. Like, I obviously enjoyed them all on the first listen, but I haven't really gone back and reviewed me why did I add this to the playlist? But some of the ones that I have gone back and re-listened to, Last Dino's New Gear, NPD,
non-playable
director. Neil Francis is an Aussie producer who's playing at Coachella on the Coachella lineup that was announced pretty recently.
Cousin of Dylan?
I assume so. Different FRANCES, not IS at the end.
Oh, Francis.
Frances. Multiple France. And then their track Energy is really good as well. Like, it's got a real like an 80s house thing going on, and I really enjoyed that. So there are a couple of tracks that I've been getting into this last week. This last week?
I think you said arse there.
A little bit.
This arsed week. Well, that's good, Max.
Thanks. Sam?
Oh, for me.
New things?
Well,
from you?
Yeah, from me. I've been getting into movie scores.
Oh.
Which is niche. Can you get off my cable?
Oh, shit, sorry. I was wondering why you kept looking down there.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was me. But then those big hoofers.
My big clodhoppers.
Yeah. Those vans were black ones, weren't they?
Yeah, these are pretty old.
Yeah. Time for a new pair.
Some freshies.
Yeah, just neat. Anyway. I've been getting into movie scores. I watched a movie on Netflix called Good Grief, and they had a very pretty score. It's a new Daniel Levy movie.
Ah, yep.
Very sad.
Not good.
No, don't watch it for a good time.
No.
But watched that, and then I got into some of that instrumental scores. Quite a pretty little soundtrack.
Nice.
And then to 180, flip it on its head. Oh. I've been listening to Throne.
Metal band.
A metal band, you wouldn't believe it.
Out of Melbourne?
No, I think they're out of Sweden.
Ah, Melbourne of the North, yes.
So I've been listening to Throne. In particular, did I get that right? Let me just double check.
This is live fact checking on the pod.
Live fact checking. But basically, they've got something like 11 songs.
What, in their entire discography?
Damn. And they are blowing up. Like, they are the next big thing, I reckon.
Right.
Where are they from? They've got last names Lonskunst, Odeholm, Malm, and Lilsblad.
These all are from Melbourne, I bet you.
No, they're not. Where are they from? Throne band from Sweden.
Nice.
Sweden. But their song On the Verge.
Yeah?
Wow. Okay. I'm just going to insert it in here.
Please. Oh, we're not actually going to hear it live.
No. Oh, do you want to?
I mean, we did it last week. Might as well do it again.
But I will say, behind Knocked Loose, Throne are the next sort of hype band in the metal scene.
Yeah, right.
So it's exciting.
More than, is it Speed out of Sydney? That were the hype band for like a hot minute?
They were a hype band for a hot minute, but I think they, on the global scene, Throne are a little bit more talked about. But I'll play you this. Ready? I'll fast forward it. I'll fast forward to the bit.
All right.
If you're lifting when that shit comes on, my 60 kilo deadlift goes to 62.5.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking increments.
Yeah.
Man.
Sam's,
that's about it.
I feel like Sam's deadlift is going to make, it's a recurring segment.
Deadlift?
Yeah, list for deadlifts.
Oh!
Yeah, it's a portmanteau, Sam. It's the two words together.
It's a conjunction.
Yeah, or compound word even. Conjunction would be like and or but or neither. But we got there, didn't we?
I have a journalism degree. That's embarrassing.
We don't worry about that.
But anyway, that's my something new. If you don't know Throne, you will know them very soon.
Okay. Well, good shout. Get around it.
Get around it.
Last week we did a big... had a bit of a Dennis Lilly like. Did a sweat, bro.
Whoa. I did have something I want to bring up, but I'll talk about it later.
No, please.
No, you were transitioning.
No. Last week we did a big chat about the Hottest 100.
Yes, we did.
Did you have something you want to cut in first? Or
No, I'll bring it up.
You just look like antsy.
No, I'll just highlight that I need to bring up these points later. That's fine. I'm happy to talk Hottest 100.
You can bring out those points if you want.
Well, no, we've already sort of sold that we're going to talk about the Hottest 100. I don't want to confuse our listeners.
All right.
Sorry, Mum.
Anyway, Doja Cat came in on top.
She did.
Which
Paint the Town Red.
We talked about. Padum Padum did make it in, much to the...
Can I just say...
Yeah.
You had a shocker early.
I had a shocker early, did I?
Pacific Avenue.
Yeah.
So, if you don't remember, and you're listening to this, Max said Strawberry Daydream would come in, a chance for top 10. Meanwhile, at about, I reckon, 12:30,
Yeah.
I get a message from Max going, shit, I am not on. 92.
Yeah, 92 is top 10, Sam. Closest to 100.
Yeah.
I didn't specify which
100's
end
the
of
best, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like golf score.
Yeah.
Look, but I was somewhat, saved by the fact that Pacific Avenue came in, I think, somewhere in the 40s with another song somewhere.
Yeah.
down
Dancing
the line.
Queen didn't make it, I saw.
No, I noticed that, which I was surprised by. But, just general overall thoughts on the countdown?
Well, obviously we posted about it on our social media, and a lot of people...
On at 78 Amps.
At 78 Amps
on Instagram and
TikTok. On Facebook too, but don't bother. YouTube though.
That's not our handle though. I don't think it's at 78 Amps on YouTube.
Oh, that's good.
I think we're too small to have a custom handle. But anyway, as you were.
Yeah, right. Anyway, moving on. We had a lot of people comment that... Well, we had a lot of people comment different things in general. Some people were saying that... As a whole of Australia, I might put it first. People were saying that it was the worst count they've seen in years. Other people were saying it was a TikTok takeover. But I think it was a reflection of where the music industry is. I think TikTok's the new way to discover music now. And it's, whether you like to admit it or not, it's the biggest social media platform in the world. I mean, I discover a lot of good music on TikTok.
Yeah, same.
And at the end of the day, as much as I joked last week that the Wiggles threw a bit of cash under the table to the ABC, love you, Lockie Wiggle, I do think that enough people would have voted for Paint the Town Red to make it win.
Yeah, I think overall, I think it was a good list. Like, I think it still holds up. You know, everyone always has their 2 cents to say about number one.
Yeah.
And every year I say the same thing, which is number one is never like the objective. I mean, if there is such thing as an objective best song, it's never the objective best song. It's the one that offends the least people enough that it gets a very healthy portion of the vote.
Does.
Like, Triple J would have the statistic somewhere of how many people put Paint the Town Red as their number one. Because when you vote, you can pick, this is my favourite. I want to know what the split is if it would say, like, how many people would say that was their favourite song of the year.
So is that how your votes work? Because I just put my 10...
It just releases the 10, but it does say, like, you can just put forward...
what was your favourite song of the year?
It doesn't count towards the vote anyway. So, I think, Macklemore won in 2012. Like...
The Rubens one.
And Hoops is a fine song. It is not the best song on that album.
Still to this day, never heard it.
What, Hoops?
Yeah.
You managed to get your whole life without hearing Hoops?
Yep.
Wow. It's a fine song. Like, there's nothing wrong with that song. I don't dislike that song. But it's not the best song on their album. It's enough people went, this is a fine song for me to vote for it. And that's how things get to number one.
Yeah.
And that's okay. In the end, I think the list overall was really good.
I think it was a good reflection. I mean, I've got the top 10 here. We've got Paint the Town Red.
Yep.
By Doja Cat, number one. The Worst Person Alive, G-Flip. He had
Same
a record
thing,
day.
I think it's the same situation where enough people were just like, this is what it is.
I agree. I mean, Dom Dollar came in twice.
3 and 4.
3 and 4. I was going to say 4 and 3. Prada, another TikTok song.
Mm-hmm.
Adore You.
Mm-hmm.
Not Fred again's best song of the year, I don't think.
No. And a really bad Amy Shark cover.
Well, yeah. He got the words wrong for starters. But I thought Rumble
Yep.
should have been up there rather than Adore You.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was listening to it. Sorry, smelling toast. And I was like, this isn't... It's not the
fine.
best. It's fine.
Again, that's what I'm saying. A lot of these songs... I think, in terms of songs that I think come closest to being the song that represents 2023 the most, I think Dom Dollar is the closest we're going to get.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the other songs in this top 10 are fine.
Well,
Again, I don't dislike them. They're not bad songs.
I think
fine.
any of these other four could have represented it as well.
Yeah.
So we've got What Was I Made For?
Yep.
Billie Eilish.
Yep.
Obviously, Barbie was a big thing in 2023, and that was...
Exactly.
It's an incredible song for a movie.
Incredible song for a movie. The I Spy song and Dance the Night both got in there as well from that soundtrack. Great soundtrack all round.
It is.
Yeah.
Rush, Troye Sivan.
Yep.
He had 3 in there, I think.
I think the problem with that album and probably that song is too late in the year.
Came out too late.
If that was a June, July release,
the radio
straight
stations would have thumped it.
Yeah. Because that's getting like Nova Play and stuff like that, and that's where you get those big draw-ins.
And then rounding out the top 10, we had Lovin' On Me, Jack Harlow, again, everywhere.
Yep.
And Chemical by Post Malone, again, everywhere.
I think a lot of people, first of all, I don't think this Triple J is any worse than any other Triple J. I don't think any of them are particularly good or bad. It is a democracy. The people obviously voted for these songs. Like, you can't say that the list itself is good or bad. It's just a reflection of what the people listen to.
Well, it's subjective.
It is subjective. And I think you hit it nail on the head by saying, like, TikTok has had a huge impact. I think TikTok's had a huge impact on the industry as a whole, not just Triple J. So, like, you can't just be like, oh, Triple J's given up to TikTok.
Yeah.
For Triple J to not give in to TikTok and, like, play songs that are on TikTok means playing songs that people actively don't want to hear.
Yeah.
Like, it would be suicide for them. So, it's stupid to be like, Triple J and TikTok are the same thing now, because music and TikTok are almost the same thing now.
Well, yeah. Music is TikTok.
Music is TikTok. But
I do agree that I saw a really good comment on our socials today, and it was someone saying that Triple J is not getting worse. We're just getting older, and we're not accepting
100%.
that we're growing past it.
100%. The other thing is, how many people that might be our age or above only tune in Triple J for Hottest 100 Day?
Oh, me.
Yeah, exactly. And so they come in and they say, Triple J sucks, it's not what it used to be. If you'd have been on the bandwagon...
That's what I do.
I'm not pointing any fingers.
Fuck, this sucks.
But if we'd have been on the bandwagon and followed it like all through the year, we'd be like, no, actually, this is on Triple J. These are songs that Triple J are playing. I've heard them all year. This is what the people who are 16 to 25 and who Triple J are targeted at are listening to. We're just tuning in on the one day of the year where we want to relive being 19 at a pool party and hearing our favourite bangers come on. And we're like, fuck, why aren't these my favourite bangers from when I was 19?
Yeah, you need to go back and do like the throwback days where they play the Hottest 100 of 2005.
Exactly.
But I will say, I am one of those people that listens to the Hottest 100 and I'm like, I don't know any of this stuff. But deep down, I'm flat that they're not playing my favourite songs.
Exactly.
But I know that.
Yeah. And as long as you can accept that.
Yeah.
As long as you accept it's not for you.
No, it's not.
Like it's great that you get to have a say, and maybe one of your songs or a couple of your songs do get in there. But this isn't countdown for you.
No, it's not. And it just makes you more excited when the song you did vote for comes in.
Exactly. Oh, it's a romp, isn't it?
You're like, geez, I know music.
Crank it. I voted for this. Everyone, listen up.
This is my song. They played it.
This
was my vote, everyone. I will say, shout out to the Heft that made it. Sleep Token made it.
Yeah, and
Polaris
back to back Bring Me the Horizon as well.
Yeah. I was listening to that part.
Yeah.
I missed...
Blink got in there as well. I think it was the first time that Blink's been in there since like 2009 maybe.
So like back in the 2000s?
When did Neighborhoods come out?
2010 maybe? 2014?
No, I'm going to say 2011.
I'm going to have a look.
Look into that for me.
I shut Spotify. Damn.
As one final thought on the Hottest 100.
Yes.
And Triple J in general, but Hottest 100, how Hottest 100 reflects Triple J.
Yes.
I think people get their music from a lot of different sources these days, right? Like the monoculture's kind of gone. Like 20 years ago, everyone would have listened to Triple J. Did you get the year right for Blink?
You got it right.
I got it right, 2011?
Yeah.
People get their music from all these different places. So at times, this is going to be another classic Sam burp.
No, it just came out with ferocity.
Yeah, right.
People get their music from different places.
In 2011, there was the same number of like commercial or like on the borderline commercial songs that were in that countdown.
Yeah.
You know, Kanye and Jay-Z Watch the Throne was in there, and that was a huge album. That was everywhere. You couldn't say that that's any less popular than Paint the Town Red or something like that.
Yeah.
And there was like 6 songs from that album, a few songs from that album in that countdown.
Yeah.
The difference being that enough people listened to the same sources like Triple J, and that was kind of around the time when like Pitchfork and Enemy were having their biggest internet moments, that the monoculture existed where enough people voted for the same kind of things, that the commercial stuff was balanced out by things like Someone That You Used to Know, Somebody That Used to Know by Gotye, or, you know, indie leaning bands of that, you know, Mumford & Sons had their moment around that as well. Difference is, I think now that there's no monoculture, people get in their music from all these different places. So while people are still voting for that commercial stuff, they're spreading out the other votes now.
Yeah.
So that there's not an obvious indie or like alternative artist that's also up there.
Yeah.
The commercial stuff is still getting all the votes that we're getting before, and everything else is just more spread. Does that make sense?
I think it's good for the industry, really.
It's great.
Because in terms of like the genre representation,
there
was a bit of everything.
Yeah, exactly.
It's good.
I thought it was a good list.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said in the video, Paint the Town Red wasn't my number one. I would have liked to have seen Troye Sivan hit that.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, it's not my list.
It's not on your list. I mean, we'd voted for it. We did vote.
I did that well. You should be proud.
Saved it.
Well, that was a good recount, Max. But I do have something I want to talk about before we go to the next one.
Please, yeah.
And a couple of discussion points have come up. The first one, this is more just, I'm going to put it out to our audience, but I'm going to start with you.
Yep.
You've come home from work. You're feeling shit.
Have I ever?
Wow. Shout out Max's employer. But you're just feeling flat. What's that one song you go to? It's a sad song. You might not even be feeling sad, but like, what's your go-to sad song? It's just like a little audio hug.
Well, the weird thing is, if I'm feeling down, I don't put on sad music.
Oh.
I put on sad music when I'm feeling like...
Happy.
Not happy, just like medium.
Role reversal.
Sad on top.
I do think you can be a happy person and listen to sad music, though.
Oh, and that's fine.
I love sad music.
Sad music doesn't necessarily make up that much listening of mine.
Makes up a lot of mine.
Yeah, right.
Is that saying something?
I'd say more like emotional music than sad, necessarily, if you know what I mean. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a sad song.
Well, what's your go-to? What hits you right in the...
There's a song by Alexander Biggs. He's Australian. I don't know exactly where he's from.
Yeah. I mean, you just say his name and you feel sad already.
Yeah, exactly.
Very talented.
Very, very talented. Incredible singer, incredible songwriter. The song is called Till You Hate Me.
Right.
Really good song. But it's a very lovey, it's very like...
Break-up-y?
No, like, I think it's about... there's two that are kind of similar, Laundromat and Until You Hate Me, and I think that I might be getting this confused here, but I think it's about someone who's in a relationship and then has to move away, but like doesn't want to break up the relationship, but kind of is, you know, dealing with that. That might be Laundromat, actually, but one of those two.
That hits home for both you and I.
Yeah, I know. No, I know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so...
hits you right in the
fizzy feels.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
Well, shout out Alexander Biggs.
What's your sad
Joji
song?
for me.
Joji's
got a way of making you feel sad.
Yep.
Slow Dancing in the Dark.
Banger.
Great song.
Yeah.
Die For You.
Mm-hmm.
Just pretty much anything Joji. Really?
Yeah.
Off that Ballads 1 or Smithereens. That'll make you sad.
Do you sometimes, when you're sad and you listen to Joji, does your mind just go, "This is Filthy Frank," and then you kind of laugh a little bit? Yeah.
Or I've been watching him live.
Yeah.
Because I was tempted to go see him when he came here.
Yeah.
But then I was like, I don't know. Because like Slow Dancing in the Dark. Incredible song.
Yeah.
But that high part comes in the chorus and the inner fan in you just wants him to sing it so you can hear it. But knowing
he's going to struggle.
that he's like, "What, bitch?" and then puts the mic out. Just a bit off-putting. As a music fan, but from an outside perspective, it's hilarious.
As a Filthy Frank fan, huge fan.
Yeah. I've seen footage of him humping mic stands during Slow Dancing in the Dark. Like, but he's come a long way. He's a great singer.
Yeah. Oh, genuinely very incredible talent.
Oh.
But it is funny that
it's
he's
funny
Filthy Frank also.
I actually, this is a bit sad. I watched an interview with him
Yeah.
And he was going on and on about this Thomas the Tank Engine Japanese candy
Okay.
that he could only get in Japan. And I looked everywhere for it.
Are you going to try and gift it to him?
No. I just wanted to try it. Because he was going on and on about it like it was amazing.
Right.
But he said it was like so bad it was good.
Oh.
And I finally found it in a Life, I think.
Okay.
In a Life supermarket. For those who've been to Japan, you'll know what I mean. Hello, Japan fans. There's not many of you.
Yeah, no. The statistics are low.
Statistics are low. We're probably not going to tour to Tokyo anytime soon. But Max and I are familiar with the area. Finally found them.
Yeah.
Bought 3 of them.
Like 3 packets? Or is it like
3 little
yep.
capsule things.
Yep.
And then little trains with Thomas faces on them.
Is it like CHEW, choo-choo?
Anyway. Tastes like shit.
Right. Oh.
Like awful. Borderline inedible. Anyway, they're all gone now, but backed up for a week. Anyway, that was one thing I want to talk about. Sad song. So that's good.
Yeah.
Then the second one, we spoke about it before we went on air.
Yeah.
And I think it's an important one to talk about. We need to normalise going to gigs alone.
I'm a proponent of it.
Because sometimes, in the, financial world, the economic world we're living in.
And these cosy lives times, Sam.
Yes, cost of living crisis. Oh. Trigger warning, sorry. It's just sometimes not feasible to buy 2 tickets to a gig that you're a bit unsure about. I think you're better off, if you're unsure about a gig and just want to suss it out, buy a ticket, go yourself.
Yep.
If you don't like it, go home.
Exactly.
No one's judging you.
I've done a few gigs alone. Sometimes by choice, sometimes not by choice. That's fine. Most recently I did a Mild Orange gig by myself. Really good. Great. Really enjoyed the experience.
Yeah.
There was a bit of a weird moment when between the support act and the main band.
We should give some tips.
Yeah.
Because it's like a movie.
Yeah.
If you go to a movie alone, when the action's on, no one blinks an eye. No one bats an eye that you're standing alone. No one even thinks you're alone.
Yeah, it's true.
You're just having fun, enjoying the band. You can do whatever you want. The world's your oyster. You're just in the moment with the band. What do you do in between sets? Because I've been the same. I've been to a couple of gigs on my own, and that's
a lot of scrolling the gram.
Well, that's where the anxiety kicked in for me. I was very self-aware, and I thought everyone was looking at me. And I was doom scrolling till my thumbs fell off.
I tried to relax. Yeah, you do feel quite self-conscious.
You do.
I think that's where we, as a society, we need to just say, you know what, it's okay to be at a gig alone, and that's so that in those little moments,
Yeah, but to be fair, you and I have been to gigs together,
and to get together alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't talk. We go, oh, hi Max. Nice. But you see people on their own, and when you're with a group, you don't give a shit.
No, you don't.
You're not there judging them.
No, yeah.
Anyway.
Couldn't get less of fuck.
It was just more of a PSA. Go to gigs alone. It's okay.
Maybe we should start the 78 amped gig loner club, where if we know 2 people who are going alone and just want someone to chat to, like, you don't have to be friends.
Yeah.
Just like, you can sort of stand near them so that you don't look alone.
Yeah. You don't have to talk.
We're not setting that up. I'm not being responsible for that.
Maybe as our social following grows, we'll create a little community. But again, like, you can set that up.
Yeah, we'll see.
But if you see one of us at a gig, come up and say hello. We'll chat to you.
That's true.
Unless we're pissed. Actually, no, then we'll talk to you more.
We'll talk to you more.
Yeah. We want to know your whole life story.
You know me. When I've had like 3 beers, I'll talk to anyone about anything.
Max, for the record, will want to know your family history.
I'll be like, hey, where are we going after?
Well, I must say, so we've got a little Amigo 3. They're right here. How I ended up in the middle, I'll never know.
How you end up as the tallest one, I'll never know either.
I'm the shortest. And I'm 6'4", so...
That's weird. I'm taller than you. I'm 6'1".
Jeez, that hurts. Yeah, I get told I'm a short 6'4". It just depends on the shoes. When I wear my platforms, I'm a bit taller. But, we're not a closed off little trio, are we?
No.
We want to know everything about everyone.
That's true.
So if you see us at a gig, I can forward sell. I'll be at Black in April.
The rapper.
The rapper. I'm going to Black's gig.
Okay.
I'll be at North Lane. Surprise, surprise. So if you're around the area, I'm not going to disclose which city we're in just yet. But if you're around those gigs, try and get the city right.
Get on in.
Get on in.
Pick any city.
Pick any city. If I'm not there, I promise I was there the night before. But anyway, good chat.
Look, rounding out today.
Yes.
We're coming up. We're approaching the other big early year musical moment.
The Logies.
Yep, that's the one.
Thought so.
Absolute ripper time. Who's going to win Gold Logie? It's probably going to be Tom Gleeson again.
Hamish Blake. Well, thanks for listening.
It's the Grammys.
Yes.
Famously, get it wrong all the time.
You do?
No, they do.
Well, yeah. It's like the hottest 100.
Everyone has a fucking opinion about the Grammys.
Like assholes.
And I've been listening, plugging in another podcast. If you're into music podcast, this is a podcast that I would highly recommend. It's called The Hit Parade. Really good, but each
do they give us shout outs?
Yeah. We've got plenty of shout outs off them. I'll show you some later. And
you're pumping our competitors.
They're definitely not competitors. We are not in the same. We're not covering the same content they are. Anyway,
but you just thought you'd bring them up on the show.
Yeah, I would, because I've been listening.
Is this our first on air fight?
I think it might be. Listen to a podcast that they've been doing about the Grammys and about how different reasons that the Grammys may or may not get it right. Yeah. And I wanted to, some of the reasons that the host talks about. He's a comfortable boy, isn't he? The reasons that the host talks about that the Grammys might not get it right are because, they have, an aversion to different genres. They started out explicitly not wanting to promote rock in the 50s when rock and roll was having its come up. They were like, we're going to not nominate rock. Didn't get to the late 60s until they started nominating any rock bands. Like the Beatles didn't win a Grammy until 1968 or 69.
But then did they feel guilty and make them win every award?
Well, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I've got a little quiz for you, and I want to see if you can.
I'm famously good with Grammys.
You're great with Grammys, but I think you'll be okay because I think everyone will suck at this quiz.
Okay, good. Because in terms of just general music knowledge, shit house.
Yeah, you might see a pattern emerging in this.
I doubt it.
Let's see how we go.
Because I couldn't even name the top 10 the other day.
That's fine. This is it's all album of the year.
Oh,
and it's from various years, and I'll give you it's a multi-choice.
Yeah,
you'll be able to just pick one, one in each of these, 1 in 5 chance.
Chip in here. I need to phone a friend.
So, album of the year, 1970.
I wasn't. Yeah, okay.
There's the nominees.
Yep. Oh, so I just choose a winner.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Abbey Road, The Beatles.
Yep.
Age of Aquarius by The Fifth Dimension. Blood, Sweat and Tears by Blood, Sweat and Tears. Crosby, Stills and Nash by Crosby, Stills and Nash.
Yep.
Or Johnny Cash at San Quentin by Johnny Cash. Who do you think won album of the year 1970 out of those mostly absolutely ripping albums?
Well, I know 3 of them.
Sure.
I don't know the other 2. Blood, Sweat and Tears, don't know. Mm-hmm. And then Fifth Dimension, no idea.
You'd probably know the song Age of Aquarius. It was
probably.
Pretty,
it does ring a bell.
Yeah.
Naturally, the mind goes to Abbey Road. But that's the obvious answer, so I don't think that's right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go Live in San Quentin, Johnny Cash.
It's Blood, Sweat and Tears by Blood, Sweat and Tears, who were a jazz band who I could not recognise any of the songs from, and nor could I see any other notable achievements that they've had.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So they beat the Beatles, Johnny Cash,
Crosby, Stills and Nash.
And
Fifth Dimension, who, Fifth Dimension is the second tier of that list.
Yeah, but of those...
Beatles, Crosby, Stills and Nash and Johnny Cash are all
You'd think if you were Blood, Sweat and Tears coming up against those 3 or 4, you'd be like, oh, it's been nice, fellas. It's just lovely to be nominated.
Putting the absolute sweating into Blood, Sweat and Tears, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, well...
album of the year, 1985.
Yep.
These are the nominees.
How many questions have I got, by the way?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.
Okay.
No, just 6. I've tried to pick a couple, one from each decade.
I won't fornicate with arachnids here. I'll go straight to it.
She's So Unusual by Cyndi Lauper.
Yep.
Can't Slow Down by Lionel Richie. Purple Rain by Prince and the Revolution. Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen. And Private Dancer by Tina Turner.
Jeez, that's a tough category.
Huge list.
Well, I don't think Bruce would have won.
Okay.
See, I'd go Purple Rain by Prince.
I'd say that's the album that's, between that and Born in the USA, that has had the best legacy out of those albums.
I agree.
Lionel Richie got away with it.
Lionel?
Yeah, which I'm not shit on Lionel. I love a bit of Lionel, but in that category, I don't think he's
2 albums that have lasted the test of time, really.
Yeah. There's probably 2 songs of that Lionel Richie album that have lasted the test of time. Hello, Dancing on the Ceiling, maybe?
Yeah, right.
1993.
Yep, now we're getting...
Grunge is broken.
Has broken?
It's taken
broken
over the
through.
world. Yeah.
Yeah, yep.
So the nominees: Unplugged by Eric Clapton,
Yep.
Achtung Baby by U2, The Beauty and the Beast soundtrack, Diva by Annie Lennox, or Ingenue by Katie Lang.
You're going to tell me Beauty and the Beast one, aren't you?
Did not win.
Okay, that's all right. So remind me who it was again. Annie Lennox.
Yep.
Katie Lang.
U2 and Eric Clapton.
Oh, it'd be Eric Clapton.
It is Eric Clapton.
For an unplugged album.
In 1993. A solid at least 20 years after he was at his absolute peak.
Yeah, that's niche.
It's niche, isn't it?
It's niche.
All right, a couple more.
Yep. I'm beginning to see a trend here.
Starting to see a trend.
Deserving winners don't deserve the win.
2001.
Or don't get the win, sorry.
2001.
2001. I was alive then.
Yep. You're the One by Paul Simon. The Marshall Mathers LP by Eminem.
Yep.
Midnight Vultures by Beck. Kid A by Radiohead. And Two Against Nature by Steely Dan.
Steely Dan won.
Steely Dan won it. In 2001 against that lineup.
Over Eminem.
Yep.
The other ones.
Yep. 2005.
Yep.
American Idiot by Green Day.
Yep.
College Dropout by Kanye.
Yep.
Confessions by Usher.
Yep.
Genius Loves Company by Ray Charles. Or A Diary of Alicia Keys by Alicia Keys.
So Ray Charles won that one.
Ray Charles won that one. Yeah, in 2005.
Wow.
Posthumously.
So he wasn't even there.
No.
And Kanye was there.
Yep. Green Day was there.
Green Day. Arguably American Idiot. The album of...
That easily the album of that year, I would say.
Absolutely.
I mean, College Dropout, an incredible album as well.
But American Idiot, like...
Probably the pinnacle of Green Day's career.
There's 4 or 5 number ones in the US on that album alone.
100%.
If not... I'm just trying to think now. You've got what? American Idiot, Boulevard of Broken Dreams, Holiday, Wake Me Up When September Ends, Jesus of Suburbia.
That's 5.
That's 5. Or would Jesus of Suburbia go on number 1?
I think it did hit number 1. I think it's the longest. It's definitely the longest song that's ever made it to the Hottest 100. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. That's arguably 5 number 1s.
Yeah.
College Dropout had...
it would have had Touch the Sky.
Yeah.
It would have had Gold Digger.
Yep. That's 2 number 1s.
Maybe Jesus Walks is on that album.
Yep. That would... Underrated song, Diamonds of Sierra Leone.
Oh, yeah, that's a banger.
Great song.
So it's still like another at least 4. Definitely at least 3.
Yeah.
Absolute belters. And Ray Charles is great. Don't get me wrong, I love Ray Charles.
Yeah.
I could not tell you a single song of that album.
I couldn't tell you many Ray Charles songs in general.
Yeah, fair enough. Now, last one for you.
Yep.
2009. We're getting into the modern era, if you will.
2005, wasn't it?
Well, it's pretty close. Radiohead are back with In Rainbows.
Can we just say Radiohead?
Not for me. The people love them.
People that like Radiohead, there's a stereotype.
Yeah, look, a lot of tote bags.
Well, you can't talk. You've got a tote bag right off.
And that's why I love Radiohead.
So you're going to bring them for our vinyl of the week next week?
Yep. I have to go shopping.
You having blowouts every week, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know. Do
you have to go to Woolies at the airport again?
No, I don't. I don't think about that, though.
Well done. Anyway, sorry, 2009.
2009, Radiohead In Rainbows. Lil Wayne with The Carter 3.
Yeah.
Coldplay, Viva La Vida, and Death and All His Friends. Absolute belter of an album.
Great album.
Year of the Gentleman by Neo. Or Raising Sam by Robert Plant and Alison Krauss.
Well, it'd be Robert Plant.
Robert Plant.
Because he's the oldest. So it's like they're giving awards to the people that have been in the industry the longest.
So this is my theory.
Yeah.
Right? I think that the Grammys the problem that the Grammys has, and why everyone shits on the Grammys.
Ageist.
No. They're in a feedback loop. Because they started out by not recognizing rock in the 50s and 60s. In the 70s and 80s, they were awarding people from the 50s and 60s. In the 80s and 90s, they're awarding people from the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
So they're always 10, 20 years behind.
Yeah.
So that now they're awarding people, they're missing the boat by awarding people who are just out. They're just missing. And I know like people say, but Harry Styles won, he's this year. I know. I'm not saying that's always this case. And yes, I've picked,
but there are examples.
There are examples of like I think in 10 years, in the next 10 years,
Eminem will win one.
Well, I think Beyonce will win. Like, because that's everyone always says
Beyonce's
won 32 Grammys, but she's never won Album of the Year or Record of the Year or something.
Yeah.
I reckon the next 10 years, Beyonce will win one or three of those categories.
Yep.
But I don't think it will be for the album's record or song that should have probably won that, like compared to like Renaissance or Lemonade or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think they're always catching up. I think that's where the problem with the Grammys is that the original sin of missing the train initially. They're always 10 to 20 years behind.
They feel guilty, so they'll give you one eventually.
Yeah.
It's like a participation award.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for playing the game for
Yeah.
so long. Here's one for the mantle.
With that in mind, there's Grammys are on Monday.
Yep. What are the Album of the Year nominees?
I probably should have opened that up. That's a pretty obvious question that you would have asked.
I'll play some
Radiohead.
Key change. And here's a xylophone solo.
I
reckon let's predict album, song, and artist.
Okay. Album of the year.
Yep.
Well, why don't we do the big four? The big four: album, record, song, and best new
What's the
artist.
difference between an album and record?
So record and song are paired, not always the same. But record is the recording of the song, and song is like the songwriting of the song.
Yeah,
so like
right.
A song from. So a record of the year can be a song that was written in a different year, but was being covered this year.
Yep.
Whereas song of the year has to have been written this year.
Gotcha.
If that makes sense.
Niche.
But it one recognises the songwriter, one recognises the performer.
Yeah, gotcha.
Which is often the same, but not always.
Well, if it's Beyonce, there's going to be like 8 people that go up on stage.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so this is the 2024 Album of the Year noms.
Do you like that drive-by?
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Poor Beyonce. She's not winning that Record of the Year or Album of the Year though. So
something like 8 people wrote
maybe that's
single
why they're
ladies.
not. Maybe that's why they're not.
They don't have enough silverware.
Yeah. All right. So yes, this is Album of the Year 2024 nominees.
Yes.
The Age of Pleasure by Janelle. A fine album. I don't mind Janelle.
Take your word for it.
Did you know there's a tunnel under Ocean Boulevard by Lana Del Rey?
Yep.
Endless Summer Vacation by Miley Cyrus.
Yep.
Guts by Olivia Rodrigo.
Yep.
Midnights by Taylor Swift. The Record by Boy Genius.
How many nominees are there?
1, 2, 3. What was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. SOS by SZA.
Yep.
And World Music Radio by John Baptiste.
Yeah, right. So what do you think should win?
Should win?
Should
win? I would say it will probably should go to SZA or maybe Taylor Swift. I would like to see Olivia Rodrigo get up.
Yeah, you're a little bit of an Olivia stan, aren't you?
I'm a Olivia Vida Loca, as they say.
I tried to say Olivia Rodrigo fast the other day.
It is
so
hard. It is hard.
Have a crack.
Olivia Rodrigo.
No, you slurred.
I just slurred
you
through
slurred Olivia.
Yeah.
Olivia Rodrigo.
Not a fun.
It's the Via Rod. It's Via Rodrigo.
No, I reckon it's Arda Rodrigo. Like
Olivia Rodrigo. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Who
are you picking out of that list?
Well, I think SOS should win it. We keep touching feet. It's really making me uncomfortable. I think SOS should win it. I'd be shocked if Taylor Swift didn't win it.
Like in an objective sense, you could say that Midnights was the album of the year. It was everywhere. Whether or not you liked it or not, it was played on every radio station all the time.
I didn't. So we'll just move on.
There were good songs on that.
But I think to be a Swiftie, you're probably not a 20 to 30-year-old white male living in Australia.
I mean, I don't mind a bit of Taylor Swift.
Yeah, but that's where you and I don't get along.
Record of the Year.
Record of the Year.
2024 nominees.
Yes.
Anti-Hero by Taylor Swift.
Yep.
Flowers by Miley Cyrus.
Yep.
Kill Bill by SZA.
Yep.
Not Strong Enough by Boy Genius. On My Mama by Victoria Monet. Different to Janelle Monáe.
Sisters.
Vampire by Olivia Rodrigo.
Yep.
What Was I Made For by Billie Eilish.
Yep.
And Worship by John Baptiste.
So I'll go straight away and say What Was I Made For should win it.
Yep.
But again, I think Anti-Hero will win.
I think Kill Bill could have a good chance here. I think Kill Bill went pretty close to matching Anti-Hero. In terms of it was probably the only song this year that was like as everywhere as Taylor Swift.
This is just a PSA. If SZA is listening, come to Australia.
Yeah.
I literally would buy a ticket within minutes. I'd queue to buy a ticket.
SZA's just sat down at home. Somehow this has cropped up on her.
She's going, fuck. The boys have said it. I'm on.
Sam's on. If Sam's on, I'm on.
Jeez, fellas.
SZA and Sam, a duet.
Stuart. I don't know why she went posh all of a sudden. She's coming.
Song of the Year.
Song of the Year. Didn't we just do that?
No, we did Record of the Year.
Oh, sorry. I know we did album. Jeez, we're flying through this.
I don't think that the nominees are out. They are. What the shit? Where are they? I'll skip that one. All right.
Artist of the year.
Best new artist.
Best new artist. Okay.
Yeah, because I don't have a full artist of the year.
Yep.
Because they've got like all the genre ones, but I don't have an overall.
Yep. Best new artist.
Best new artist. 2024.
2024.
Gracie Abrams.
Yep.
Fred again.
Yep.
Ice Spice.
Yep.
Jelly Roll. Coco Jones. Noah Kahan. Victoria Monet.
It's Khan. I
Is it?
realised. It's Noah Khan.
Oh, Noah Kahan. Victoria Monet and The War and Treaty.
Well, Fred again, arguably, but he won't win it. See, this is the unfortunate thing. I feel like I've got to take into consideration like a woke world now.
I don't think you do.
You don't think so?
I mean, it's always been that way. The Grammys has always been like. That's how Robert Plant won.
Well, yeah.
Record of the year.
He's
in
old, but
2000.
what a gift he's been to music. Here's some silverware.
Yeah.
Well, they're gold, but it's still silverware. I'll go Jelly Roll.
Okay.
Or who was towards the end?
Noah Kahan, Victoria Monet, War and Treaty.
Or War and Treaty, I reckon.
Sure. I'm gonna go Ice Spice.
Okay.
Because
I think Ice Spice, Fred again, or Noah Khan, all deserving.
of all of the big four categories,
Yeah.
best new artist in recent years, I'm not gonna go too far back, has been the most on point in terms of artists that then went on to be big. So to like 2005, Maroon 5, 2006, John Legend, 2007, Carrie Underwood, Amy Winehouse, Adele,
Yeah.
Zach Brown Band, Esperanza Spalding. Never heard of that person when they were up against Bieber, Drake, Florence the Machine, and Mumford & Sons. So that was a bit of a shit year. Bon Iver,
Nepotism, maybe?
possibly. Fun, Macklemore, Sam Smith,
right.
Megan Trainor, Chance the Rapper, Alicia Cara, Dua Lipa. They're pretty good.
Chance the Rapper's career. Phew.
Yeah. So,
Forgot to put fuel on the plane.
so of all those,
Yeah, right.
of recently, they've been pretty good. So
Well-
I'll give it to, I reckon, Ice Spice.
But I feel like Fred again's probably like the next.
Very possibly.
But so is Noah Khan. Because the country music scene is huge.
But
But he's like that borderline pop country.
I feel like as good as Fred again is, I think Fred again is the big dog in the alternative world.
Yeah.
Whereas Ice Spice is already cracking top, like hottest
Yeah.
100. You know what I mean? She's cracking Billboard.
Yeah, she is.
So who knows?
Who knows? Well, tell you what, Max.
Yeah.
For those that are watching,
Yeah.
thank you. You don't get to see this next part. It's secret. It's the 79 amped
It is the
Vinyl
79.
Club chat. So if you want to be a part of that, you probably want to go to Spotify.
Or Apple Podcasts.
Or Apple Podcasts if you want to.
Or iHeart.
Or iHeart Radio.
Or Deezer.
Do we have that?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. But
Deezer nuts.